Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing all right. Everyone's automatically on mute, but you are able to come up on camera. If it's not a huge group, I will take everyone off of mute. But we'll give everyone a few minutes. I know everyone's wrapping up work days and dinner and all the things since we have people all over. So feel free to stay muted and off camera until we start, or feel free to come up on camera too. While we're waiting for people, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I also realized it's the 15th, which means taxes are due today. So if you haven't done your taxes yet, make sure you do them. I forgot that this was tax day when I scheduled this call, so hopefully it doesn't prevent people from showing up. Hey Tasha, hey Christine. Everyone's muted when you join. If it's a small group, I'll unmute everybody. But you're muted for now, but you're welcome to come up on camera if you like. We're just gonna give everyone a few minutes. I should really start playing music during these things. Sometimes the music is too loud. Like holding music would be fun. Hey Lizzie and Kate and Carla and Elizabeth. See some other faces joining. We're just gonna give everyone a few minutes to join and then we'll get started. Hi Kim, hope you're doing well. We're just waiting for everyone to join before getting started, but appreciate you hopping on. We'll be doing, I'll be letting everyone know they can introduce themselves in the chat later on, but since there's a good group on and we'll wait for more people to join, you're welcome to introduce yourself now in the chat if you'd like. Hi, Sharon. We're just waiting for everyone or for a few more folks to join. Hey, Tasha. Thanks for popping in the chat. We have a lot of places on the call right now. We have Florida, we have New York, DC folks, Chicago. Hey, MJ. Good to see your face. Okay, we'll give one more minute and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm excited people are popping in the chat. If you don't know where the chat is, there should be a little chat icon either at the top or bottom. I'll show an image here in a second that will be able to help people find it as well. But you should be able to open your chat if you're on your phone or on your computer and type in it. Yes, Elizabeth participated in the Chicago Walk last year for the first time. So excited to have her back at Walk. She's already signed up. If you've emailed me about Walk signups, I have seen it. We got a lot of signups and emails come through. between yesterday and today. So I will get back to everyone by end of day tomorrow. Just a bit behind on my emails this week. It's been a busy meeting week and a lot of one-on-one connects with a lot of volunteers, which has been awesome, but has taken me away from my inbox for a minute. Okay, great. Well, I love it. Thanks everyone for popping intros in the chat. We'll give some more space for that as well. I'll keep everyone off of mute for now, especially as we have people trickling in, but I will take everyone off of mute later on because we'll have some time for open discussion. But so happy everyone's able to join our April 2026 Shatterproof All Volunteer Call. My name is Gab Tuggle. I'm the Volunteer Engagement Director, and I'm so excited to have everyone here. I did want to know I am sharing slides, so if you can't see it for some reason, you might need to leave the call and come back. If no one can see my slides, definitely feel free to put it in the chat or let me know and I can stop sharing and reshare. But Carrie, you can see my slides, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and get started then. So as I said, I was going to go over some tips and tricks for Teams because I know not everyone uses it often. So just some quick overview, depending on whether you access the call today via the app on your phone or the browser or on your computer, your control panel may be above or below the slide deck. To enable live captions, you can click on the three dots where it says more and select speech and language and then choose turn on live captions. So it should automatically pop up as well. And as far as muting an audio, since this is an all volunteer call and hopefully we'll get more people joining throughout, as I said, everyone will be automatically muted. But if for some reason you're not automatically muted, please make sure you mute yourself throughout the presentation today. Everyone's allowed to come up on camera. I love seeing faces up here while I'm chatting. So would love to see your face pop up if you are able to. If not, totally okay too. At the end of the call, we'll take some time for open discussion and Q&A, so you can ask questions and participate in discussions using, there is a Q&A box that you're welcome to use. You should be able to access that and to enter any questions that you think of. Obviously, the chat's also open. It should be on the far left of your toolbar. To pin the chat, you just click on it and you can leave it open the entire time. The chat can be active throughout. I'll be monitoring it. Carrie will be monitoring it. And I know I have some awesome colleagues who will also be joining throughout as well, who can also keep an eye on it. There's also a raise your hand feature. So during the Q&A portion, or if there's anything urgently throughout that you want to chime in on or have an urgent question, feel free to use the raise your hand icon. And when the time allows, I'll definitely call on you and unmute you. And I'll give you access to unmute yourself as well. Obviously, just so excited to be here in whatever capacity you're able to show up tonight. So for today's call, we'll kick off with some introductions in the chat. I know some of y'all are already doing that. We'll obviously ground us in our mission as we always do, and then we'll dive deep into our new mobilizer tier. From there, my amazing colleague Carrie will spotlight Treatment Atlas and how it ties into mobilizer engagement. And then from there, we'll highlight some of the incredible work that y'all have all been doing across the country, and we'll dive into some things that are happening now and coming soon. And as always, we'll leave time at the end for any reflections, questions, or anything else you'd like to share from your community work. So if you want to continue the introductions, I'll start a little bit more of an introduction of myself. As I mentioned before, my name is Gab Tuggle. I will be facilitating our call today. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am the Director of Volunteer Engagement. I've been at Shatterproof for a little over a year now, and I get to oversee all things related to volunteerism here at Shatterproof. And as always, I'm so honored to work alongside each of you in this work. I'd love for all of y'all to also introduce yourselves in the chat. So if you're comfortable, feel free to share your name, where you're located, how long you've been engaged with Shatterproof. And something new that I thought would be cool to add on is one word to describe what brought you to Shatterproof, or one word to describe your why. I also know the importance of all of y'all connecting with each other as fellow volunteers. So you are also welcome to share contact information or social media handles in the chat as well if you're wanting to do that. And awesome, now that we've all started connecting in the chat, I wanted to ground ourselves in the mission. So excited to dive into who we are. So as I shared in our January all volunteer call, Shatterproof has a new mission and vision. Our new mission and vision is simple. We want to create a shatterproof world where addiction never defines or ends a life by transforming systems for tomorrow, supporting families for today, and ending stigma forever. As I shared in the last call, we also have some awesome new values and priorities. They were shared in the last call. You can find them on the volunteer portal, and I'll also make sure to follow up with them after our call today. And one of my favorite parts is always grounding us as well in our volunteer purpose statement, because I truly believe that this is the root of all the work that we're building out together and working on every day. So we believe the power of people to change the course of addiction in the US. Volunteerism at Shatterproof is more than service, it's a movement. It's how we honor lived experiences, build connection, and inspire hope. We rally passionate people, those with lived expertise, and those who care deeply to drive change and stigma, support recovery, and save lives. Volunteerism is the heartbeat of Shatterproof, loud, visible, and impossible to ignore. Um, awesome. Well, I've been talking about it for a long time, so I'm excited to officially introduce something that we have been working on building behind the scenes now for almost a year, and that is our new Mobilizer volunteer tier. That's a tongue twister. This is the launch of a clearer way to name and organize how volunteers engage with Shatterproof. So my hope is that you leave tonight with a better understanding of what a mobilizer is, where it fits today, and how you'll continue to hear about ways to engage through this tier. I wanted to be upfront that we're launching the mobilizer tier itself tonight, not every single opportunity or thing tied to the mobilizer tier. We're intentionally starting with a strong foundation so we can build this thoughtfully and sustainably. So you'll see me dive into more of the what, how, why, and what's going to continue to come. And as we kind of continue to build out this work internally and alongside each of you, there will be more resources, tools, training, and things like that that continue to get posted and integrated onto the portal. But excited to dive in. As a quick reminder, especially for those who might be newer to volunteering with us, I wanted to just go over the entire volunteer ecosystem and where the mobilizer tier fits. So, as many of you know, we designed a tiered engagement system that creates clear pathways and meets people where they are. So, mobilizers engage quickly through low-risk, flexible opportunities. This is where most of the volunteers are today, and where all new volunteers will start in the future. Connectors are launching later this year, and those will be trained volunteers doing deeper outreach, advocacy, and storytelling. And last but not least are our ambassadors. These will be high trust leaders representing Shatterproof in communities with a goal to launch in early 2027. This structure helps us match responsibility to readiness and scale volunteer engagement in a sustainable way. And as always, I always like to note as well, I know many of you, we have Shatterproof volunteers who've been around for a long time that may have paused and have recently returned, or maybe are new and have heard about stuff about Shatterproof volunteerism from others that we used to call all like volunteers ambassadors. And while we sunset a nationwide ambassador title, obviously that's coming in the future. If you were an ambassador before and were already deeply engaged in our work, obviously you can still consider yourself an ambassador. And I'm happy to chat one-on-one too about what that kind of looks like in our current state. So, mobilizers. Mobilizers are volunteers who take quick, simple actions to spread awareness of Shatterproof and help build community power. So, mobilizers can take action in a few core ways. You can kind of see them broken out here, like awareness and outreach, which for this one, it kind of means that you can share Shatterproof resources or engage on all of our socials. You can post flyers or rack cards in your community, or you can even table at local events like health fairs or school gatherings. This is an awesome tier for any volunteer because there's no specialized skill set required and no intensive training, just accessible, tangible ways to help advance our mission. I'm really excited to share with y'all the immense amount of opportunities that fit underneath each of these buckets here, as I'll start posting them on the portal, and I'll also share it in my follow-up today. But you'll see things like for peer-to-peer support and event support, those already exist. So many of you already show up at our events to help support our fundraisers. Our advocacy, I'm excited to spotlight some of the incredible ways current mobilizers engage in advocacy, especially over the last week. Carrie will talk a little bit about ways that you can get involved in Atlas engagement as a mobilizer, and we'll continue to build those out and share those opportunities as well. And those kind of align too with our Stigma, National Stigma Initiative campaigns. And then lastly, that community support, which so many of you do day in and day out in a variety of ways. Awesome. So I wanted to kind of talk about too where we are now. So there is this incredible internal cross-functional work group. There's about 7 of us from every function across Shatterproof. We have people from HR, Stigma, Atlas, advocacy, advancement, peer-to-peer, marketing. There's so many people in this group helping build this out, and that's what's important because before volunteerism fit in a lot of volunteerism in certain areas is very siloed. Like you can only volunteer for a walk. There was not much else to do. So this is exciting that I'm able to learn from the experts from each function of how they need volunteers and how they want volunteers to show up alongside them. So together with this group, we have clearly defined what the mobilizer tier is and isn't. We've bucketed the types of opportunities mobilizers can engage in. We've aligned on how success should be measured and also prioritize what's truly required as we launch today and as we continue to launch more things throughout the future alongside this tier and obviously the others as they come. And then most importantly, and this is really the most exciting part for me, we landed on a really strong set of must-haves that gives us more than enough to launch and build all this out meaningfully without needing everything to be perfect on day one. So as we move from design into build mode, you'll see that the mobilizer specific opportunities will roll out on the portal along with simple tools and guidance so you know exactly how to get involved. We're focusing on using what already exists because there was actually surprisingly a ton of incredible information that you all, along with staff, have created over the years. So putting it all in one place for y'all to be able to access it also aligns with our updated mission, vision, and values. So we'll be taking what already exists, lightly refining what needs are, and then also creating what's truly missing based off of all of your feedback, as well as some feedback I've received from teams across the organization. So as I've mentioned before, this is really a foundational launch, obviously not the final version. So we'll continue to build on all of this. And one thing I always say, and I know I've talked with many of you about it before, is I have an open door policy. So as we're building this stuff out, I never want y'all to be like, ugh, that's not what I was expecting, or we should be doing more of this, or I wish we could, I wish this was what it is, but maybe a little bit different. Feel free to always schedule time with me, shoot me a text, email, call, anything like that. I'm always open to the conversation. As I've said before, I want to be able to build a box of tools, resources, education, and connection for y'all to stand upon. Y'all are the ones out there doing the work. So how can I best support you to drive the mission and vision that y'all are wanting to do alongside your passions and skill sets? So what can you do now? And I'll share some links in the chat once Carrie starts presenting her section. But even though more opportunities are coming, action starts now. So if you want to be a mobilizer today, the most important things you can do are making sure you are signed up as a volunteer on our volunteer portal. That just helps me know where you are. It helps me know who you are and your connection and what skills you have and what you're passionate about and interested in. I also just recently created a mobilizer user group within the portal that each of you can join. It'll be connected directly to your profile, and that way anytime there's an opportunity or a connection for mobilizers, I'm making sure that that you're tied into all of that as well. Also continue to engage with our content. We have some really incredible new marketing staff who has been making our social media campaigns truly inspirational, and it feels really easy to engage and see. And so make sure you're engaging across all platforms on socials if you have it. I say that as someone who has deleted all of my social media, but I still will chime in on LinkedIn to go see what's going on. And it's really cool. You can like, comment, share. You can watch videos, you can learn. I also want to share too, like we have Treatment Atlas, we have our stigma campaigns. Like there's other social channels as well that y'all can be following along, advocacy campaigns, things like that that are directly tied to Shatterproof that also have incredible content that I feel like all of y'all could really benefit from, as I know I learn and benefit from it daily. And then obviously just making sure to keep an eye out for upcoming mobilizer opportunities, not just on the portal, but what mobilizer opportunities are happening in your own area. Now that we're clearly defining what this work is, you all can be like, oh, hey, I saw this thing that's coming up in my community. Like, can I go? Or can I represent Shutterproof? Or can I get a flyer so I can go post it at my brand new coffee shop that just opened up in downtown? Like these are things that I'm happy to support and engage in. I had so many of you reach out to me last year saying like, hey, I saw this walk happening. Like, we have a Shatterproof table. Hey, I want to get flyers to go pass out to every single high school in the area, especially to recovery clubs that or substance use disorder awareness clubs, because so many of them are being created. I'm happy to support you in that work. Y'all just have to meet me halfway and let me know what's going on so I can best support you. This tier is designed to grow with you, and so I'm just genuinely excited to build it alongside each of you throughout all of our communities. And with all that being said, I would love to pass it over to my amazing colleague Carrie from our Atlas team, and she'll be able to show you one of the ways that how the mobilizer can look in action, mobilizer tier can look like in action. So Carrie, I would love to pass it to you if you want to introduce yourself and then dive into your slides.
Yeah, so I introduced myself in the chat, but my name
Perfect.
is Carrie Gossman. I live in Indiana. I'm a program coordinator for 6 of the states and, well, yeah, 6 of the 14. And I work with all of the community in all of the states that I'm in. I take care of all of the community engagement. I attend conferences and really just try to spread the word about Treatment Atlas's platform. If you're not familiar with the platform, individuals or anyone looking for treatment can go on to treatmentatlas.org. They can answer 10 short questions. It'll give them a level of care that they need. And then it will also filter out for only the facilities that are willing or that can help them. So that's just a quick overview of that. And then I don't know. Gab, do you just want me to tell you to go to the next slide or can I do it?
I think you can tell me. I might be able to give you
Okay.
access. But
Oh,
I
I
can
can
just
do it.
click next for you. Oh, you
Yep.
can?
Yeah. So these are some of the types of key stakeholders that I work with on a daily basis. We reach out to provider associations, coalitions, task force, government agencies. I work a lot with the drug and alcohol courts, payers like the insurance companies, and a lot of community organizations within the states. I reach out to them and ask them if we can set up meetings. I let them know about Treatment Atlas. I go through I do a whole site demo with them. And then some of them do link us on their websites. So this would really tie in, some of these can tie into you guys with doing community events like Gab was mentioning. If you would like to request materials for any events that you would like to do, or you guys would like to attend events and run a Treatment Atlas table, then Gab can get that all set up for you. And I will put the link in the chat where you can order collateral directly from me and I can have it shipped to you if you would like. So some of the collateral that we do offer is we have resource cards. The resource cards are local levels. I have specific ones for certain states. We have several types of community ready materials that are available. These are just like quick little cards that you can hand out to anyone walking down the street. They can be displayed in offices and everyday interactions. just really good, quick things that they can put in their wallets. And most of the resource cards do have the QR codes on them. They'll take them directly to the website. We also have postcards and flyers. These are designed to inform, engage, drive action. They're useful in waiting rooms, community centers, libraries. I've pinned them up in the coffee shops, as Gab was talking about. And the designs are real intentional with and approachable, just to direct people directly to get treatment. We also have specific bifolds that are directed to audience specifics. These are tailored to deliver the right message to the right people. The ones that are displayed are specific to Pennsylvania. Again, they have the QR codes, and then they have statewide resources to be on our state specific resources. They have to be available statewide. So these are targeted to outreach with professionals, families, community partners, things like that. And then I will have them available for Virginia specific ones when we do launch in Virginia. We also have double-sided ones with English and Spanish. And then we have Spanish resource cards. We have English and Spanish, but we do not have double-sided resource cards, just in the postcards. So these can be accessed I have it in the chat right now. Those can be ordered directly from me, and then I can ship them directly to your house if you want to set up to hand any of those out or post any of them. I do have flyers too, a one-page flyer that looks almost, actually, it's directly like this double-sided postcard. So I have a flyer that is double-sided as well that I'm more than happy to ship to anybody that wants to hang them up or pass them out. And I believe, Gab, I think that's all. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know too if you want to talk about like what does this mean like when you guys launch in a new state? I know
yeah.
just
Sorry.
talking a little bit about like the importance behind that and
so
what
we're
kind of
about to launch in Virginia. Right now we are in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Wisconsin, Louisiana, and North Carolina. So we are live. Those are the states that I take care of. We are going to launch in Virginia in the end of September. So getting the word out and getting these resources out to all the Virginia people, or really just any of the community organizations, really puts our name out there and really helps to drive people to the Treatment Atlas website to find high quality treatment.
Has anyone on this call ever used Treatment Atlas? Feel free to use the raise your hand or put it in the chat as well.
I don't see any hands.
And I just put all the states that it's existing right now. I hope I didn't miss any. So if I did, Carrie, feel free to add them in here. But yeah, even if you don't live in this state, so I think that's one of the beautiful, if you don't live in a state where Treatment Atlas is, you can still access it and click around. I obviously North Carolina, there's resources for us in there, but their website's incredible. They have so many great resources and information, great Q&A, but it's also a good thing to share with others. Obviously, if you've been connected to treatment at all, like you can attend treatment across state lines. And I know people who, lived in California or who lived in a different state, but then attended it in North Carolina because they used the Treatment Atlas app. And these are one of those programs that continues to grow and continues to pop up in more and more places across the country. And one of the reasons that y'all helping build awareness is so important. And Carrie can super correct me if I'm going down the wrong path, but like building awareness around these resources is important because the more people who connect to it, the more awareness that it gets, the more funding that we get. These programs like Atlas and Stigma are funded programs. And so as we send a lot of emails about like bills and things like that. So many bills, whether you think it or not, actually tie into eventual funding for these types of programs, which is why it's so important for us to continue to advocate for these things and share the resources and engage with them and all of that stuff. So even if you're not someone in recovery or, maybe you don't know anyone who needs this right now, still sharing it on your socials or sharing it in your communities, printing these flyers, getting them from Carrie and her team is important for people to see it because that's the only way we can make Shatterproof a household name and the only way we can get more people to engage with our incredible programs like Treatment Atlas. I know, Carrie, if there's anything else that I missed or that you wanted to clarify or add.
I was just going to say that if anybody would like to schedule a meeting or have a site demo, I'm more than happy to do that. Or if you work for some of CBO that would like to have a demo of it or that would like to use it, then I'm more than happy to schedule that. And you can absolutely email me or schedule a meeting with that schedule a meeting button.
Yeah, and I'll also put that in our follow-up too. And I'll make sure to link all of this in our follow-up as well. Yeah, and super grateful for this spotlight. And yeah, Kim, it is really impressive. I'm always really inspired by these teams that do this incredible work and it's tangible resources that people use on a daily basis. So thank you so much for sharing and spotlighting. And these are just some of the ways that y'all will be able to engage as mobilizers and more deeply too as we build out our other tiers. There's some really exciting opportunities on the horizon through the Atlas team, especially that's going to help people engage with providers and centers and things like that as well, which we're really excited to build out. This team is small but mighty, and they cover a lot of people. They are some of the most connected to when it comes to community-based organizations and kind of those boots on the ground people who are doing things specifically in each of your areas of the country. So excited to have y'all support their work even more. Well, awesome. Well, there'll be time to at the end if you have any questions. Have any questions as well. And I saw Kate just put some, so I'll let Carrie skim through those and we'll have time at the end to answer. Feel free, Carrie, to answer in the chat and we'll also give time at the end too, Kate, because they look like some really good questions. But as always, I love to spotlight you all and what you're doing in your communities. And I feel like these are continuously going to be important so y'all can see the different ways mobilizers are showing up in communities. So many of you have been out in your communities doing real, visible, meaningful work. And as always, every single one of those moments moves us forward. So I wanted to take time to spotlight some from when we met last. So we've seen some incredible advocacy engagement recently, especially around a bill in California. More than 25 of you signed our petition. Several shared your stories and written testimony. One of our volunteers that if you were on any calls last year, Andre shared her story across socials. Also, we tied her story to our petition, and then also she was able to be spotlight in op-ed through the Sacramento Bee. Her story is really just a powerful one. So if you want a chance to read through it, I'll make sure to share the link in the chat and also in the follow-up. Also, it was exciting last night. We had two incredible volunteers, Lisa Scott, who runs an amazing Create Your Own fundraiser up in Northern California, as well as Patty Vargas, who's been a longtime activist with us, testified in person yesterday in Sacramento. And because of them and all of the collective action, the bill passed the committee unanimously. There'll be more ways to stay engaged in this bill as it moves forward. So if you are in California and want to do something with this bill, definitely feel free to shoot me a note. I'd love to get you involved. But this is our first exciting big advocacy action that had a lot of volunteer engagement since I started over a year ago. So excited to be able to continue to elevate more and more of these activist mobilizer tier opportunities. Beyond advocacy, volunteers were really showing up everywhere over the past few months since we last met. This morning, Linda Phillips shared a powerful mission moment on Treatment Atlas's provider roundtable that they host once a quarter. We also welcomed new members for the first time in a few years to the New York City Junior Council. The council consisted of about 5 to 6 people that attended every meeting last year, and now we're up to 16. So it's super exciting. We have people from the ages of 22 to 38 of all backgrounds and connections and skills. So excited to have a super strong group joining us. Also, many of you supported the naloxone pledge that we posted a few weeks ago and have engaged with that and even shared it across your socials. And we also had 5 incredible volunteers help make the Hospitality Heroes reception back in January a success, and supporting us raising over $2.1 million. This event raises a ton of money. It was really cool to get a lot of folks re-engaged in that awesome event. As always, all of this is because of each of you, how you show up, speak out, and lead in your communities. And I'm sure I'm missing some folks. So if you've been doing something in your own community, whether it is big or small, feel free to drop it in the chat. And then obviously there'll be time at the end during our open discussion. So we want to hear from you, learn from you, and as always, celebrate you. Speaking of celebrating, before I move on, I just wanted to take a quick moment to name that it is National Volunteer Month. And next week is actually National Volunteer Week. It is my favorite time of the year. These moments on the calendar obviously are nice reminders and a great time to spotlight volunteers, but they're really just a reminder of something that we already know, that we are so grateful for all of you all of the time, not just during one month of the year. Because of you, this work really shows up in communities, not just in plans or in strategy documents. I have met so many of you and talked to so many of you on the phone, over text, or even in virtual one-on-ones. Each of you help people feel seen, supported, and less alone. Because for many of you, you also felt not seen, not supported, and you felt alone at some point. And it's just truly inspiring how many of you are turning your journey into action, and all of that matters so much. Next week, I'm so excited to be spotlighting a ton of different volunteers across our socials. So when you see those pop up in our social post, please feel free to reshare. And also, I hope that you'll cheer on one another and help us celebrate this incredible community. If you're not spotlit next week, that doesn't mean that we don't love and appreciate you just as much. Just excited to share some different volunteer stories, but all of y'all will be hearing from me a lot more next week, which I'm excited to connect more next week. But I just wanted to say truly thank you for everything that you do. I am so honored to be in this area of work and grateful that I get to work with people who inspire me and to not only do better, but inspire me to show up daily. And I'm just grateful to be a part of this really incredible organization. My slide got a little messed up here, so sorry about that. But before we open it up, I just wanted to talk quickly about what's been happening and what's coming soon. So like I mentioned before, we have our naloxone pledge going on right now. It was launched. So if you haven't already signed the pledge, I would encourage you to do so. And there's a ton of really incredible resources. There's some exciting things on the horizon, like potential trainings, ways to get more involved, tools for how each of you can access naloxone products in your city or state, and how to distribute them as well. Other big exciting news too is our walks, all of our walks, if you are a fundraiser or team captain, launched about 2 weeks ago, but I was excited to launch all of the volunteer positions yesterday. So if you are wanting to sign up and join us again for one of our 6 walks across the country, all the positions are live. And of course, if you're having any issues at all signing up or are like, where do I even start? What do I sign up for? Shoot me a note. I'm happy to get you signed up. I'll also continue to share out communications, like I said, in the coming weeks about how to get more engaged in the mobilizer tier. Lastly, I'll just say that if you need me, you can always email me at gtuggle@shatterproof.org or volunteer@shatterproof.org. Obviously, our portal is where I have been keeping everything up. I know I've gotten some feedback about how it's kind of been low as terms of opportunities the past few months. I always say that the winter and the beginning of the year is kind of like a slow period just to get kind of everyone back on track. But now that the warmer months are here, hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't get a 15th winter that comes back somehow, some way. It's 87 degrees here in Raleigh, so I'm hoping it stays that way for a while. There'll be more opportunities posted, and obviously, since we launched the mobilizer tier, there'll be more things there. Our next call will be on July 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So the RSVP is already up for that on the portal, but I'll make sure to send that again. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm done talking. So I would love, I'll stop sharing my screen. I know Carrie was responding to some things, and I'm also going to put everyone off of mute. So please be careful. You're not somewhere super loud, and make sure you mute yourself if you're not already muted yourself. But yeah, Carrie, you were able to answer all of Kate's questions? Kate, you can also come up too if you have any other questions.
No, some of those are you question. The first one
Oh,
she wanted
perfect.
to know is if she was interested in volunteer work that applies in all three buckets. And then is there a way to engage in the opportunities while working full time as time allows?
Yes, of course. Great. Yes. So the beauty of the buckets and the beauty of all things whenever you volunteer in an organization where I lead volunteerism is that I want to meet you where you are and be able to have you do what best aligns with you. So you'll see as the other tiers go on is that all tiers will intersect. So like mobilizers will do a certain thing, but all connectors will be doing mobilizer and connector work, and all ambassadors will be doing mobilizer, connector, and ambassador. I also know some times of the year you might be like, I don't have time to maybe like be as engaged at the ambassador level, but I want to do more mobilizer type things versus other times of the year where you're, over here helping lead presentations and directly doing outreach and being like a full extension of staff. So yes, you can do volunteer work that applies to all three. And yes, I will always try to create opportunities for those of you who work full-time or are full-time parents or are in school full-time or whatever your life situation is. I will always try my best to create flexible opportunities. And that's really what these tiers allow us to do. They allow us to create opportunities that might be niche. Something I also keep forgetting to mention is that alongside the tiers, we're also building out a skilled volunteer program and a corporate volunteer program. So although those kind of both fit into the tiers differently, if you've come to me and said like, I am a lawyer and I want to help y'all like with legal skills, yes, there will be opportunities for that. We have Linda, the one I just talked about earlier. She helps us with a lot of writing. She does skilled volunteerism with us. So more of those opportunities will be able to happen as well. And yes, I do know that if you signed up to be an ambassador a while ago, there wasn't a lot going on depending on where you were in the country. And so that's also what I'm trying to solve and build upon by launching these tiers, is to give y'all work that happens consistently throughout the year, not just depending if you like live in Chicago, because that's where a walk is.
The next one was, well, this will be my third year with Shatterproof, and I would like to be more involved, but it seemed as if it was limited opportunities offered. I was able to work a table at one event, but other than that, I think the only other opportunity was the walk happening, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend. Will there be more opportunities available this year? Would it be best to connect offline to discuss specifically how I can be involved?
Yes, yes. So similar to what I just said, there'll be more opportunities to be involved ongoing if you see things happening in your area. Like I know Kate, you in that group had seen so many cool things happening in your area last year, and so we were able to attend some of those as well. So yes, and of course, anyone's always welcome to schedule time with me. So Kate, if you wanted to schedule a one-on-one time with me, it's in my email signature. If you have an email from me in your inbox, and I'll also have it in my signature in my follow-up. But I would love to chat with you more and ideate on kind of what works best for you. Awesome. I know there's only about 10 of us. Is there anyone else who has questions or anything they wanted to share? Awesome. What do you
Any
mean by any update on Texas, Paul? And feel free to come off mute if you want.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, Paul,
Uh,
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you again. It's been a while.
I know.
So, so we're having, I'm trying to figure out how to combine what I'm doing with what you're doing, because you have a lot of research that would help me with, just give you background again. I worked with the Texas Lawyers Concern for Lawyers and Texas Lawyers Assistance Program. By the way, we're having another convention in June, if y'all want to
Oh,
be
oh
there
yeah,
again.
yeah. Send me the information. They had such a good time last year at it, so that'd be
Good.
awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be in Austin this year. That's gonna be it. If you want to
Oh,
reach out
cool.
to me, I'll give you details. But yeah, um, I love your programs, and I want to figure out, we have a database where we help our lawyers, law students, and judges get the treatment, but Atlas does not include Texas according to the chat. So, um, uh, how can Atlas help me to help Texas, my clients here?
Do you want to answer that, Carrie?
So we are not in Texas yet, but the only way for us to get there is with funding. Um, and to move it through like the governor. So if there is a pay source that is willing to fund us, then we can definitely look into that. But other than that, I don't think that we are moving towards Texas just yet. We
Have
do
you all
hope to be
been,
national by the end of the year, but we won't work directly in that state.
I got you. Have you been able, I may have missed, I missed the beginning. Have you been able to access the grants through the opioid settlement throughout the different states? Because I know,
And yeah, in some states.
okay, good.
And there's some different ways too, like especially with all the constant funding shifts that have been happening over the past few years. The Atlas team and the Sigma team both have been looking at alternative funding options. Like I know, like last year, Paul, I had connected with you with because of the Houston Roundtable stuff that was happening, and we were able to get a small grant through that to be able to participate and do the Houston Roundtable. So also looking at like, are there smaller opportunities for us to engage in like local cities and stuff like that too. But of course, you can always use our resources, and we have so many, especially with us having the walk in Dallas and a lot of Texas connections through other avenues. We're connected to a lot of community-based organizations and corporations and stuff like that as well that could potentially deepen engagement, awareness, and like partnerships. We do a lot of partnerships. Because we're a national organization, we always want to elevate those who are also doing like state specific work. And so we're happy to do partnerships and collaboration if any of them arise. So definitely keep us in the loop, but I'll reach out to you as well and we can kind of see what happens.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Hey, MJ, I saw you have a question. Feel free to come off of mute.
Hey, how's it going, Gabby? Are you ready
Good.
for this year? It's 2026.
I
No looking back,
know, and it's
right?
already almost May somehow,
I
some way.
know. So my question was, this year will we have youth sizes? So I know that my son would love to have a T-shirt because he's volunteering with me.
Yeah, we probably still don't have use sizes for the t-shirts just because it's rare that we get them. I might be able to, because we had a lot of school groups last year, I might be able to convince for us to get some youth larges, but I'll definitely look into that and see what our capabilities are as well.
All right. And then are you gonna bring your kiddos this time to Chicago?
No, well, maybe it depends. It depends on what time of year it is, but he doesn't like staying still at my walk events. He likes running
Well, he's
around and
he's a
creating
Liam. He's a
chaos.
Liam.
Yeah.
He's a Liam. All right. Well, maybe they could get along real good though.
Maybe. Yeah. We'll see where he pops up this year. He always pops up in some way, shape, or form. So
Well, I'm excited. I signed up for the event thing, so I'm all hands on deck.
good. Yes, I saw your sign up come through. There's a lot of people on this call who signed up already. So excited to see it all again this year.
Totally excited. I'm totally ready to broadcast it all over Chicago. So my
Good.
passion for the advocacy level has changed. So now I'm a content creator, also a CRSS and a CHW work in the field, and there's a lot of things going on. So I just asked for the brochures and stuff like that because I want to broadcast it all over the colleges.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll shoot you some flyers. Marketing is helping me get them created right now, and once I have everything, I will send them your way. Awesome. Anyone else have any questions? I know some people are starting to have to jump off. It's getting late for us East Coasters, and I know it's getting to become dinner time for those further west. Well, awesome. It was a small group tonight, but I appreciate y'all joining. If you have watched the recording, feel free to email me with any other questions that might have come up while you watch this recording, but I'll be setting up some follow-up tomorrow, and obviously my door's always open, so you're always welcome to email, text, call, or set up time with me. But I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your day, and we will see each other hopefully sooner than June, or July, which is our next call. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks so much.